Hello, welcome to JIBRIN Angle on Oweleke TV. My name is JIBRIN, and we have our regular guest this day with us, Barrister Austin Manta. We shall be talking about some 3 or 4 topics that concern borders, the issues, some of the political issues that happened during the week. It has to do with the killing. One of the topics has to do with the killing of military personnel in Delta State. The other one has to do with Peter Obi's visit to several mosques, and I think he's still in the process. He's still visiting mosques during this Ramadan period. The other topic we shall be talking about is the speaker. We all know that the president had held a dinner for the House of Rep members, the Green Chambers, in honor of them. And the speaker made some comments, some remarks there that actually arose my curiosity that we need to talk about. Then we shall also be talking about the latest kidnap that took place earlier this week in Kaduna State. Kaduna State seemed to be taken over from Maiduguri, from Borno State, as the hub and the headquarters of crime. Crime. When I say crime, I didn't want to just mention because multiple things happening in Kaduna. We have banditry, we have kidnapping, we have terrorism. General crime Kaduna is becoming the hub of crime in the north, not just in the north, in the country right now, a hotspot for crime. So these are what we shall be talking about. So many topics. We'll see how we can shorten it. I hope our barrister will, I guess, will take note of this several topics we shall be talking about. Hence, give us as short as possible responses. Barrister, thank you once again for joining us out of your busy schedule.
Thank you very much, and welcome, viewers.
All right, let's go straight to it. We all know what happened earlier this week, is it during the weekend? I think it was Sunday, stroke Monday or so, in Delta State, at the Okuoma community, how several both military officers and rank and file were just murdered. Can you give us your opinion about that incident? Just give us some postulations and what you think about what happened.
Well, you have already said I should try and be short.
Yes.
But this topic, I will try as much as possible to just be as brief as possible.
All right.
Views on it.
Okay,
but
please.
It deserves to be interrogated more.
Okay, please go ahead.
Because of the antecedents.
Okay.
Being that this is not the first time something like this has happened. The fact that we have not learned, we as a country and as a people have not learned any lesson from previous similar occurrences that have happened in Nigeria in the past, involving the murder of civilian, military personnel, has happened before. But that said, I want to point out that there are 2 communities that were involved in the land dispute, Okuoma community and Okoloba community. And it has been ongoing for decades. According to the army, the soldiers who were killed, they are from the 181 Amphibious Battalion, Bomadi. The commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel A.H. Ali, led 2 majors, 1 captain, and 12 soldiers on what the army tagged as a peace mission. And they unfortunately lost their lives in the process. The word out there for the moment is principally from what the army says. We have not been able to hear authoritatively from the other side what actually transpired. But what we hear from the army is that the commanding officer and the other 16 soldiers were killed, mutilated, their heads cut off, their hearts removed, in the worst possible brutality that you can think of. And then the consequent devastation that happened on the community of Okuoma. As we speak, the word out there is that Okuoma is no more. And if you recall, like I said, this has happened in Odi back in 1999. It happened in Zakibam back in 2001. And now it is happening in Delta State, in Okuama. And in each of these places, the refrain has always been, when it was Odi, it was like Odi is no more. When it was in Zakibam, they said Zakibam is no more. And now we are hearing that Okuama is no more because it has been leveled, down. And if I wanted to go down into history, it is back to the colonial times. That is how it used to happen in the colonial times. You remember Chinua Achebe's novel, Things Fall Apart, when he said, Abame is no more. The killing of a white man by the local people brought the anger of the colonial administration, and they raised the whole village Abame to the ground. And then everybody that was being told, they will say, have you heard that Abame is no more? So you can project forward to Odi, to Zakibam, and now to Okuoma. Yes, so Okuoma, sorry. Now we have to condemn in the strongest possible terms the murder of soldiers in these circumstances. As far as we know, the army remains the last bastion of something that is akin to a national institution in Nigeria. Despite a lot of things, we can relatively say that the army has remained or has retained some elements of national cohesion. And they are the single most important institution that continues to hold Nigeria together. The killing of its personnel in whatever guise ought not to be allowed, ought not to be tolerated, and ought not to be celebrated by anybody. Having said that, it is important to interrogate the circumstances under which the soldiers were killed and to learn lessons from what has happened to ensure that it does not repeat itself. Like I said, it happened before in Odi, in Zakibam, and the right lessons were not learned, and it is repeating now. Perhaps this is the time that we should sit back and interrogate these incidents properly to avoid down the road having a similar institution. I mean, a similar
let me ask, you made mention of Okuoma. Are you telling me, because I've not read that news, if that is what you have read, are you saying that we are having, Okuoma is experiencing similar situation as that of Odi, and Zaki Biam of Obasanjo's regime? Is that what you're saying?
Definitely.
That the military has pounced on that community? Is that generally they've generalized the whole thing?
Definitely, there are videos of the whole place burning up that I show are coming up. The village is sealed. From what I understand, even the governor could not be allowed access into the village by the soldiers that went there on a mission to fish out the killers and also recover the arms that these soldiers were carrying that were allegedly stolen or confiscated by the killers. So the word out there is that the place has been burnt down. Now we have some online social media videos of people who claim that they are the ones that killed the soldiers. And they are trying to dispute the narrative of the army. There's a person who came up and claimed that he was the leader of those who killed the soldiers. But the circumstances of those videos have not been confirmed. So we cannot authoritatively say, yes, they are the people who carried out this gruesome killing of the military personnel.
Yeah, but this is I understand that military you just can't kill their personnel and go scot-free. But honestly, this issue of jungle justice on the side of the military, if what you have said is true, that even innocent people are caught in the fire, deliberately caught in the fire. It's not just like you pointed out earlier, that there is no excuse. It's inexcusable for anyone to even tamper or kill any security personnel, not just the military, any security personnel. Security personnel, as corrupt as they may be, they are still better, much better than so many institutions in Nigeria. And the military, especially, that's the institution that is still, even though in-house, we still have some kind of sentiments in-house, but on the surface, there is still that projection, that image of unity and patriotism on the side of the military. Therefore, there is no excuse whatsoever to kill any of our security personnel in any guise, So, however, just like you said, I think it should be investigated. What happened? Were they really there for peacekeeping? Apart from that, the military also should temper justice with mercy. They should go for those who killed, because look, they can always find those who killed this. The way they killed this men, this military personnel, it's something that, if they want to fish out the culprits, they will eventually fish out the culprits. So let them, please, let not what Obasanjo did during OD and Zakibian happen. It is honestly, I don't really appreciate it when innocent people die for the crime of the wicked. Honestly, I don't. It pains me a lot, because someone cannot just stay doing his or her business, living a decent life. All of a sudden, someone just comes and cuts short his or her life because someone has committed a crime somewhere. The problem is, these things are not collateral. We don't call them collateral damage. Because collateral damage is something you do unintentionally. You kill people, people get destroyed, or things get destroyed, excuse me, unintentionally. This is no more collateral damage. If you are killing innocent people, this is deliberate. If it's a deliberate effort, deliberate act to kill, just kill randomly, you don't care, whatever, it becomes very wicked and insensitive. You can't behave like those wicked people, those barbaric people that actually murder the soldiers, because doing that is just you are always, or you're actually behaving like them. Again, we understand military. The military just can't kill their own and go scot-free. But that ideology is a bad one. It's not a good one. We should outgrow that nonsense. We shouldn't kill innocent. We shouldn't. The military shouldn't kill innocent people. So anyway, let's move away from that to save time. Barrister, okay, before this Peter Obi, because this is a more sensitive political matter, let's go to the speaker's comment at the presidential dinner. You are aware that President Bola, the self-imposed President Bola, organized a dinner for the House of Rep. And so what have you, I don't know if you watched the clip and you listened to what the speaker's remark at the presidential dinner. The remark, let me just paraphrase. I think it has to do with the speaker commended the president. For those of you who has not watched that clip, who didn't hear, who didn't get that news or whatever, the speaker commended the president and spoke everything, eulogized him, told every good thing about the president, praised, commended his administration, his policies. According to the speaker, the president is doing everything good, everything is going on well. He just painted this positive picture of the president and his administration and policies or whatever. So, and that is, and what even aroused what pricked my senses is when he said that the House of Rep has no dissenting voice against the president. I mean, it literally said that they are so cordial, they are so they are so cooperative with the president to the extent that the House of Rep has no dissent. No dissent at all. So the House of Rep is 100% on the side of the president. And note, this House of Rep we are talking about is not just APC. We have PDP, too. We have Labour Party. We have other parties, sort of. So yet, he said, no dissenting voice in the House of Rep. Barrister, what can you say about that? What is your opinion about that comment?
Well, you have to understand that this was a dinner organized by the president to break the fast, the Ramadan fast, with members of the National Assembly. And you also have to understand that the National Assembly, both the Senate and the House of Reps, are dominated by the APC. To my mind, the leaders of the National Assembly set out to project unity in the polity, and particularly against the backdrop of allegations of budget padding that had overtaken the country and the populace in the direction of the government, both the president and the legislature. So they had to project some unity. And don't forget, the members that attended were carefully chosen by the speaker from the House of Reps. And even though the minority caucus would attend by virtue of being principal officers of the House, it was purely the speaker's show. And don't also forget, it is by the virtue of the President Bola Tinubu that the speaker got his speakership. It was actually his say-so that made him to be speaker. So this is a way of acknowledging the support of Tinubu to his speakership. acknowledging and projecting unity in the face of rising poverty, in the face of rising tension and agitation by the populace. They did not want to show disquiet, disagreement between the legislature and the executive. So that speech had to be made in that way to assure the populace that they are working hand in hand to solve Nigeria's problem. Whether that is true, whether some of the things that he said that there is no dissenting voice in the House against the president, whether it's true or not, it remains to be seen. I can bet that that is a sweeping statement and it was over generalized. It's not possible in a house of almost 370 something members that you will say there is no single dissenting voice against the president. Remember, there are PDP members in that house, there are Labour Party members in that house, there are other party members in that house as well. It is virtually impossible to guarantee that there is no dissenting voice in that. But this was the speaker's speech. He wanted to demonstrate that he's in control of the house, that things are working in the house, that the house is one body united to support and work with the president. So as far as speeches go, he achieved what he wanted to achieve by that speech. Whether in reality what he said is true is for the audience, for the populace, but me and you know that that is a physical impossibility in view of the amount of people that are in that house.
Anyway, that is a very, very bad sign to me. We won't dwell too much on that. That is a very bad, very, very bad sign, because in a democracy, when you see the relationship between the executive and the legislature being this cozy and cordial, it obviously means that something is not right. That we, the generality of the citizens or the citizenry, are the ones actually they are being cheated. That is just obvious. That is one of the signs that when you I remember during Obasanjo time regime, I remember that then that was the regime that had the most heated relationship between the legislature and the executive, to the extent that Obasanjo was almost impeached. So, and that was to tell you that because we all know what happened. Obasanjo was trying to do the right thing, actually. And so the National Assembly revolted sort of against him. So when you see this such thing under Tinubu happening, it's not a surprise to me, because that is the way he operates. He always wants to install people that will be answerable to him. And that is just, unfortunately, this is one of the, this is the reason why I hate democracy. This is the reason why I am against democracy. This is the reason why I think democracy is not the right way to go, because it's just, democracy is just riddled with corruption. It's sort of, I just don't like it. So what is the essence of democracy if you cannot allow the three equal branches of government to operate independently? It's sort of, in the Nigerian way of democracy, Nigerian practice of democracy is just not the way democracy was designed. We copied it from the West, yet we don't want to allow we don't want to copy the independence of the independence of other arms of governments, just like as it is obtained in the Western world, where we copied it from. This is just a very, very bad one. A sort of anyway, it's not, like I said, it's not a surprise to me. Bola Tinubu is his trademark. His trademark is corruption. Anything corrupt, anything done the wrong way, is sort of, his foundation is corrupt. everything about him is corrupt. So it's not a surprise to me. Let's move to the next topic, Barrister. Peter Obi, this week, we just, surprisingly, Peter Obi is on tour. Oh my God. He's on tour to mosques around the country, the north to be precise. What is your opinion about that?
Well, as far as I can see, Peter Obi is a politician. Before the 2023 elections, he was, let's put it this way, he was not a national politician. Because after his service of as governor of Anambra State, he was a bit quiet for a while. He did not elevate himself to national politics until he ran as the vice presidential candidate of Atiku Abubakar. Now, the elections of 2023 have come and gone. Attention and focus have shifted to 2027. He, as a politician who now aspires to rule Nigeria, has to look at the broader picture. No matter what you say of 2023 elections, you still have to look at some parameters of that election in your projection and focus for 2027. He saw that he needs to reinvent himself among the Muslim North. So it's not surprising that he will go on solidarity breaking of fast with the Muslims, particularly in the North. He wants to assure them that he has nothing against the North. He has nothing against the religion of Islam. Because if you see some of the videos that some of the Malams were using to preach during the 2027 election against non-Muslims and against Obi in particular, you will see where he's coming from. He wants to assuage their fears. He wants to put himself up there as a national candidate, as a person that has the interest of the entire Nigerians, both North and South, and of whatever religious persuasion they have. So this visiting of mosques to break the fast with Muslims during the month of Ramadan is a good opportunity to demonstrate that fidelity to the national cause, as opposed to what they cast him that time. During the election, a few instances where he went to the church to make were exponentially aggravated in the North here, that he's going to churches to seek support. So he is against Islam. So that is trying to balance that narrative and create himself and put himself forward as a candidate that all shares of Nigerians can put their trust in.
Honestly, I have a completely opposite view. To me, it's offensive. Let me be frank with you. This is one of the reasons why I hate politicians. I can never be a politician. Me, for one, because I just can't be a hypocrisy is the epitome of politics. That's why I hate politics and I hate politicians. This is the problem I have with politicians. This is the problem I have with democracy, where you have to pretend to be who you are not. That is the problem I have with democracy. Because it makes you, it coerces you. It's a coercion. It coerces you because it's a force. So people, you force yourself into being what you are not. That is the democracy we're talking about. You just go out there and paint and smile, put a smile face. Then when you turn your face out, turn away from the public, you just put up this face of villain or whatever. That is, excuse me, that is, honestly, that is offensive to me. For God's sake, Peter Obi, he wasn't doing this when, just like you mentioned before now, he was not doing this. What are you trying? You see, my problem is this. This is you are now what it makes you what it is. You ask yourself, was there any Muslim candidate that visited the church? Okay, Buhari did it during when he went to attended redeemed with Degwe them, a sort of, he did it. But even when he did it, did he obey? Did he obey the rules of Christianity even in the church? His cap was on his head. He didn't take off his cap for whatever. So he even disrespected our faith, the rules that guides our faith, a sort of. So I think he was the only one. He's the only one that did it or whatever. So for Peter Obi to go to want to validate, what are you projecting? You are projecting to us that you are just validating the northern Muslims, that you're just validating that their assertion, that their ideology, that their concept, that their thought in their head, that you are only a kind of you are a kind of exalting their ego that makes them believe that they are superior to any other religion or any other nationality, any other tribe. A sort of. So that is just why do you have to validate yourself? For God's sake, why do you have to appease people? Appease a section of the country just to, this to me is just hypocrisy. Hypocrisy rather. He's just a hypocrite. Honestly, I've said this before and I remain consistent about it. Obi missed his chance. It wasn't his fault, but he missed his chance. He can never be that popular again. I am telling you, may God keep us alive up to 2023 to see 2027. You will confirm, you will prove that will prove me right. Honestly, when they say opportunity comes but once in life, sometimes it is not really once as such, but most times opportunity comes once. That was a very, very good. It has never happened. Such revolution, political revolution, has never happened. Political revolution and transformation has never happened like such. It has never happened in Nigeria. That was the first time. And such revolutions like that comes once. They come once. So it will be very difficult for us to see another Peter Obi movement taking place in 2027. I am telling you, we will never get that. We'll never get to that point again. And besides, honestly, he missed it. Look, we made a mistake in 2023 because me as a person, I thought that we should have done it a different. We shouldn't have waited for the courts because we know what will happen at the court. We shouldn't have waited for. What I expected was a peaceful protest, not violent, but a kind of a level of occupy the nation. That is what I expected. And Peter Obi was supposed to be, I expected him to be the one to push that narrative, to spearhead that peaceful protest. Just like they did in Egypt, for God's sake. What I expected was that peaceful protest. Peter Obi called out his or whatever. Abiola did it. Abiola, okay, he died. In fact, we're going to even be talking about Abiola, how we got to that. In fact, how Nigeria got to this point has to do with Abiola as well. So I think we'll be treating a different topic about that. And so now, the thing is, honestly, I do not see it as this is. He will do all these things. The northern Muslim will always be the northern Muslim, especially the Hausa Fulani. No matter what you do, I have friends that are Hausa Fulanis. I have friends that are Muslims. And no matter how good you are to them, a Hausa Fulani man, no matter how. Now, it used to, okay, those days, you see a Hausa Fulani man having to favor someone that is not from the south or whatever. They have that code. If they love you, they just love you wholeheartedly. But today, the Hausa Fulani man of those days is no more the Hausa Fulani man of today. Everything has changed. No matter how good you are to a Hausa Fulani man, no matter how close you are, when it comes to that religion, honestly, they will still, Hausa Fulani man that is exactly what they've been practicing all these years. They will rather, and that's exactly what happened in 2023. They will rather pick someone who is a Muslim, who is wicked, unrighteous, who they know quite all right will not be able to do anything good. They would rather pick that person instead of picking someone from a different religion, different religion, but they know inside of themselves, within themselves, that this person can actually do what he said, just like what happened in the case of Obi. Everybody knows, even they themselves that criticized Obi, they knew it. They knew that Obi is coming to do the right thing. He did it in the Anambra State, whatever. That Anambra State, even Hausa people and the Muslim Hausa people and Hausa Fulani who reside excuse me, in Anambra State came out to testify to the goodness of Obi, how Obi was liberal to the Hausa Fulanis and the Hausas and the Muslims in Anambra when he was the governor. How he was generous to them in everything. The state policy was in favor of them. They do whatever, yet what did they do? They still went to the north and sold. The northern media, northern selfish elites went and sold the wrong narrative to the general, to Nigerians. So, my dear, honestly, I view it completely different from you. That to me, it was offensive because what he's doing right now, it validates that northern notion, that Hausa Fulani notion, that Hausa Fulani thought, or the thought of being born to rule, being superior to other parts of the country, So this is just crazy to me. I hate it when people, you see, like I said earlier, honestly, this is one thing I hate about politics or politician or democracy. Anything, let me tell you one thing I hate in life is hypocrisy. I hate hypocrisy. I hate hypocrisy. Trying to be who you are not, what you are not. I hate it. And that is one thing, that is one of the tenets of democracy or politics, And so, it's offensive to me when someone is projecting to the image what he is not. So, honestly,
I want to comment on that thing. Yes. I do not think it's correct to say that Obi is trying to project himself of what he is not. I have never believed that Obi is against any religion or has a bias against Muslims.
No. But hold on. You heard when I said I gave reference to Anambra State.
Yes.
So that's to tell you that is not who. That is, of course, he is not a religious bigot, obviously, because he treated the Muslims in Anambra State the right way.
Let's take it that politics is a game. And as long as you are in politics, you have put yourself up for election. You want to make the voters believe in you. You want to assuage their fears, whatever it is. And you will not be happy for not trying, even if you are not going to succeed. You must at least try. Now, an image has been created in the North. And by the way, the Muslim North is a key sector of the electorate. There's no doubt about that. They are a key and principal sector of the electorate of Nigeria. I will not even go as far as saying that they are the determinants. I will not say that. But they are a key sector of the Nigerian electorate. Nothing is wrong to try to penetrate that key sector of the electorate as a politician and try to clear whatever bad image has been sold to that sector of the electorate against you, who is looking for leadership of this country. You should not sit back and say, oh, even if I make effort, it's not going to succeed. It's better to make the effort and fail than to regret and be imagining what could have been the effect if I had tried. It's better for him to try and clear up his image, which has been wrongly portrayed in that key sector of the electorate. So whether he succeeds or not, and he will succeed to a certain extent, it may not be to the level that he wants, but to a certain extent, some people will buy into his effort, no matter how small they are. He would have done his best in his quest to become president. And whatever endeavor you are doing, it comes down to you doing your best, putting in your best, and trying all you can, and leaving the rest to God and posterity. So I don't see much wrong in what he is doing, if it is to burnish his image in the Muslim North, and to assure them that, look, I want to come as a Nigerian president for every Nigerian Muslim and Christian and animist and pagan and all.
Like I said, honestly, I see everything wrong about it. Like I said earlier, you and I on this, we are directly opposite each other, because I view it in a very, very, my own problem is when you are giving a section of the country that, why didn't he visit mosque in the south? In the southeast, we have Igbos that are Muslims. We have south, we have southwest Yoruba. Why didn't he visit? If it's the issue of validation of, okay, so okay, that this man is a liberal when it comes to religion. A Muslim, you see, that's my problem with the North again. Because the Northern Muslim, especially the Hausa Fulani Muslim, does not consider a Yoruba Muslim as a true Muslim, or an Igbo Muslim as a true Muslim. That is the problem. So it's not just about the religion themselves, it's about ethnicity as well. So under normal circumstances, why is it focusing on the North, on the Northern Muslim? We have Igbos that are Muslims. We have mosques in the southeast. We have other south people that are Muslims, or whatever. We have southwesterners that are Muslims. So why didn't he even start from home? Let him, if it has to do with religion. Why?
No, you are getting it wrong. He does not have a problem with the Muslims of the southeast or Muslims of the west.
I'm not getting it wrong. I am the problem. I understand what I'm saying. I'm very, very clear of my point. My point is, like you said earlier, like everybody knows about what happened. The projection, the mainstream media then projected through the elites, projected that image of Obi that is antagonistic to Islam as a religion. It's not about the Muslim. It's not about if it's a religion they're talking about. It should be, the religion should be the same. Religion should be the same thing everywhere. A Christian in Nigeria should be the same as a Christian in the. We may have some few difference in doctrinal beliefs, but Christians are Christians the same. We should be treated the same way. If I meet a Christian somewhere, should be treated the same way a sort of a Christian in Nigeria is treated. So that is my point. Now, my point is, if it has to do with religion, if the problem is, okay, Obi is a religious bigot, because some of the whatever campaign against him then was that he was that he is a bigot, a religious bigot. He is this, is that, against Islam and whatever, and other stuff or whatever. So that is my point. Now, however, the thing is, honestly, this Obi thing is sometimes I just don't like the way he does things. I love that man so much. I love his, especially his record as Anambra State governor. I love him. I love his prudence when it comes to managing resources. I love everything about most things about him, not everything. But this, there is his modus operandi, the way he operates sometimes. I don't just when someone is trying to play to the gallery, I don't appreciate that, honestly. Look, if God wants to install you as a president, he will do it. You don't have to take extra miles into doing some things that just ridiculous, just projects you to projects you to be a desperado, a sort of these are desperate moves, for God's sake. Honestly, if I was in his shoes, if I were excuse me, if I were in his shoes after this election, I would just address Nigerians and go rest, to take care of myself or whatever. But and for him to go ahead doing this, honestly, is just projecting him as a desperate man, a sort of, and that is just it. Again, my 2 points here is what he does is what he's doing right now. It validates, and that's what I don't like. That because a northern, especially Hausa Fulani man, they believe they are the ones. You just have to pay homage to them. You just have to bow to them to be able to rule, to be able to ascend leadership of Nigeria. Technically, they may be right, but my problem is we are the one, the other parts of the country are also the ones validating that notion, giving them, romancing that ego. Because every little thing you see the South going down to them, whatever, to pay homage or whatever, but they don't do the same because they feel they are the ones that holds the mace. And that is the idea, that is the perception I don't like, that is the mentality I don't like. And this is what this is exactly what made me feel offended at what Peter Obi is doing, is validating that thought. That is just it. So, yeah, Barrister, what is the situation? The latest kidnap. Sorry, we're moving to a different topic now. In Kaduna State. 80-something people were kidnapped earlier this week. Can you give us update on that?
Well, we heard of on the heels of the kidnapping of 287 students. We further heard the news of the kidnapping of about 87 people. There are other minor kidnappings of 3, 2, and this thing still.
In Kaduna State, all in Kaduna?
All in Kaduna. So it's a sesame of kidnappings. We don't even know what to say on this thing again, because hardly do you want to comment on one that you hear of another. And all we get from government is that all efforts are being made to rescue or return all the people that have been kidnapped. The governor of Kaduna State has given assurance that very soon all the 287 students that were kidnapped will be returned. Well, you can only take this assurance as assurance of a government functionary trying to assure the public, because we know these things are not as simple as that. On one hand, you are saying publicly that no kobo will be given for as ransom. On the other hand, you are saying all the children will be returned safely. So I don't know by what magic they intend to achieve that. But the kidnapping has started to go on the increase, particularly in Kaduna State. And there seems to be no answer. There seems to be no clear-cut policy, no clear-cut activity, military or otherwise, to make sure not just the return of the captives, but the issue to stop, the kidnappings to be brought to an end. And you can talk about this from morning till night. What are the security agencies doing? I think yesterday the army released about 300 names of people they placed on the wanted list. And this include kidnappers and terrorists in all the zones, both northwest, northeast, southeast, and elsewhere. In the northwest here, the most notorious one, Dogo Gide, and the other ones, their names are there. These are people that have been known for the past 10 years to be leaders of kidnap gang, even across the zones, from Zamfara to Kaduna. They are well known. They issue videos and boast that they dare the army to come to their camps. I once saw the video of Dogo Gide that was boasting that he dared the army to come, that they will finish them. These are not today's video. These are videos that are years gone by. These people are still operating, and they have territory shared among them where they superintend their operations. These are known to the people and is well known to the security agencies. So the issue is, what have the security agencies been doing on this? Because it is assumed that they know the camps of these kidnappers. It is assumed that they know who their leaders are. So what else does a security agency need to stamp out the problem when you have the information that you require, where the people are, who they are? What else do the security agencies need? And what have they been doing over the years? It's not a question of 2 months back. It's a question of years gone by. This thing has been happening and it still continues to happen. And whenever it happens, the government comes out and say, okay, we are doing something, we are going to see today. People that were students that were taken from, including Leah Sharibu, some of them have not been returned 6 to 7 years after. So what assurance, if I'm a citizen of Kaduna and the governor comes up and talks that my child will be returned, how will I take that? I will take it with a pinch of salt. So we are in a delicate situation that we, the public, want to see what the security agencies are doing. Some of those notorious gang leaders who boast, why have they not been killed or arrested? We ask these questions and we don't have answers.
It's unfortunate where we are right now as a country. Obviously, the same politicians are involved in all this, because it's just like Abacha, during Abacha time. I remember that's a popular narrative from a popular phrase that actually memorizes Abacha when he was the head of state. He said, if insurgency lasts for 24 hours, it means that the government is involved in that. And that is just it. This is someone who was there. So such phrase actually came from an authority in leadership. So he was there, he saw everything, he knew everything, and out of what he knows, out of everything at his disposal, he made this statement. And that is exactly the same thing. What do you expect? When the head is rotting, the other part of the fish, definitely, the rottenness will trickle down to the other part of the fish. That's exactly what is happening. Buhari was there during Buhari time. That's when this thing became very, very rampant. A sort of, what do you expect? Buhari as a person is not that corrupt, but everybody, because if they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. If you surround yourself with criminals, that is who you are. That is just it. So that's why that was the case of Buhari. Is not, as a person, he wasn't that, he's not a saint. He wasn't a saint, but at the same time, he was not that kind of political a kind of politically corrupt individual or a financially corrupt individual. So it's just people around him. He is not righteous. He had corruptions here and there, but it's not as other leaders we've had. So, and that is it. But this again, now from someone like Buhari's regime, giving it to someone like Tinubu, what do you expect? We don't expect anything good. And like I said, I will remain consistent with it because that is just it. You cannot build on nothing. When the foundation is faulty, there is nothing the righteous can do. The foundation that brought Tinubu to power is faulty. The foundation again about Tinubu's life, everything about his life is faulty. It's riddled with a whole lot of corruption. So we don't expect anything bad, anything good. You cannot be that corrupt and you expect to chastise other people who literally are doing what you either did before or what you are maybe technically supporting behind closed door. So it is just, unfortunately, we'll keep this whole thing will soar. That's the unfortunate aspect of it. I made this statement in my past or whatever, that after 4 years of this government, Bola Tinubu's government, Nigeria will be rarely recognized, because the man has no clue of what he's doing, and he doesn't have good intention for Nigeria. That's just the truth. And that is exactly what unfortunate situation where we found ourselves. We just hope and pray that God continue to save us and help us and preserve us through this time, and above all, intervene in this matter in any way. The divine, we need God's intervention, because this man is just killing us. We're just helpless right now. So anyway, it's unfortunate that the kidnapping stuff has become a norm, especially Kaduna. Oh my God, Kaduna, my state, for God's sake. I can't believe that they have turned Kaduna into such mess right now. That is just unbelievable. Very, very unbelievable, honestly. So I think that being said, that brings us to the end of this show. Again, if you just joined us, my name is JIBRIN, and we've been having conversation with Barrister Manta on about 4 topics now, and the way are rounding up. Well, once again, Barrister, if you have something to say, maybe you can share your last thought so that we can close the show.
Well, I continue to say that Nigerians have been held captive by their leaders, and we are more or less helpless at this moment. When you hear issues like 200 people have been kidnapped, 100 people have been killed, it no longer pricks people's, it's just taken for granted. It does not cause uproar. It does not arouse great anger in people again, because we are living through it almost every time. You look at how I continue to agitate my mind. How can 227 people be kidnapped and taken far away to a place without response from the security agencies in broad daylight? How is that possible in a modern society? And then in the same state, in the same place, another 87. For God's sake, you have to be feeding the 287. You have to be buying foodstuff. You have to be cooking for those people, buying drugs for them, because you want ransom for them. So you are going to keep them at least alive. You are taking care of them.
So sad. I think Barrister's video has frozen. Anyway, I think we'll just round it up now. That's just like what Barrister Manta said. This is unbelievable. Of course, it's a proof that
how can all this activity of touch my mind to pray to God to lift Nigeria up, because Nigerians themselves have become helpless and incapable of lifting themselves up.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate situation. This is the reason why we say the politicians, government hand is involved in all this sort of. So they are the ones calling the shots, unfortunately. Anyway, thank you so much, Barrister. Thank you once again for being with us on this show today. You've been so consistent with us, and we appreciate this gesture, honestly. And viewers, I thank you so much for being with us as well. If you are not subscribed to this channel or to this program, please subscribe to Wileke TV, and you sure will be getting this more of such content. And if you are a subscribed viewer, thank you for your subscription, and please keep in touch with us as we bring you more of this show. Thank you, and God bless you.